Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I know I've not been putting videos out on the CT125 here of late, but I've been extremely busy out here at our property. But what today's video is about is not the property. The video is about, yeah, this little guy. Now, I'm blessed to be able to live in Thailand where they make this machine, and to have people that have been getting these types of bikes. In other words, the small 4-cylinder engine motorcycles and scooters for several decades here. And then you've got some very smart Thai guys that sit back and experiment to make these machines better than stock on most of the stuff they do. Now, there are some things that, you know, I would never do to mine, but hey, to each his own. So not everybody likes what I've done, but I like what I've done. So to each his own. I have no complaints against anything that anybody does. However, what the Thai people, the Thai kids, when they start modifying one of their bikes, they usually take the stock stuff that they take off and sell it to help pay for the aftermarket stuff that they put on. Now, I'm not doing that, and I didn't do that. So if for some reason I decided to sell this bike and say, buy a newer model one, say one that they've done some improvements on that I like, I can take all the stuff that I did to this bike and put it on the new one and hopefully have a better machine. So one of the things I put on and did was I put the Vee Rubber VR22 tires on, and I tell you what, they grip and work really good off-road. But my concern is, am I going to wear these out way faster than the stock IRC tires? And I don't know, but I can tell you right now, the stock IRC tires work really good on pavement. The pavement could be a little wet and they still work pretty good, but once you get off-road with them, they're terrible. They're not even close to being good. They're terrible. So I thought, well, maybe I'll buy a second bike and have one for riding on pavement and one for riding on the dirt. And this obviously would be my bike for riding on the dirt. Hence, that's the main reason I purchased that second big bore kit. Was I was gonna buy a bike that was in the 2019 trade share or fair. Yeah, it was 2019 when they had that trade fair, and they must have had 20 CT125s that had been modified, and the one that we called the Blue Bass was for sale here in Thailand, and I just didn't act on it quick enough. You know, when you're sitting back there thinking, do I want to, or do I want to? And it was cheaper than buying a brand new one, and it had quite a few modifications done to it, and the price was right, and I should have jumped on it, but I didn't. Somebody else got lucky with it. So then I sat back and I said, well, if I ever get a chance to buy a set of wheels and stock tires, then I'll do that, and then I'll run the stock tires when I do most of my riding. When I'm going to go off-road, then I'll put my more aggressive tires and wheels on. And it showed up on the internet, on Shopee. Something you can't get in the US is items off of the shopping network Shopee. And folks, this right here is the front wheel and tire and hub and brake rotor all complete. The rear tire and wheel and hub minus the rotor and the sprocket hub. Now the sprocket hub has a star set of rubber grommets that fit around aluminum cogs, and those fit together. Now this is not something new. My 1970 Honda or Yamaha HT190MX had the exact same style on it, and you just have to keep an eye on those rubber grommets from going kaput on you. So that's missing off of it, and I was thinking, well, I'll do my best to try and find some and go ahead and buy them and have the whole setup. But it's not that big of a deal to sit back and take that sprocket hub off of the wheel and just put it on the new one that I've got right here. Brake rotor wise, I'm going to go ahead and buy a brake rotor for sure and put on here. So anyhow, that's what this video is about, folks, and I'm going to bust into here, check these out, show you some video of that, some still pictures of it, and then I'm going to go ahead and put this all together and take it out for a spin and see how it runs. Talk to y'all later. Yeah, folks, it's been a couple hours since I started on this thing, and you'd have thought for sure I'd have had it done by now, except for the fact that the Allen wrenches I had are cheap China junk, and they kept twisting, and I mean they literally would twist. Wouldn't break, but they'd twist. So I had to run into Chiang Mai and get me some good hard steel Allen wrenches. I found this set right here, made in America, and it's case hardened steel. So this is what I was working on, and if you notice, there's thread lock on these, and that's why they were so damn hard to get out or loosened up. But I got all four of them actually loose lickety split, and that's all I needed, because the ones I had, they would twist. They were actually twisting the steel, not the part of the hex. It was the shaft itself was twisting. But hey, this is the bigger pry bar type torque bar that I used with this. Shouldn't have done that. But anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and button this up, and then I'm gonna take it for a little spin. But I want you to look real close, folks. That's your stock rear wheel and tire. This is a 300 knob. That's the difference right there, and that's gonna throw your odometer off. It's gonna throw your gearing off. With these tires on there, I'm sitting back here and I'm going, you know, I could pull certain hills the way it was with the stock tires on it, and then when I went to these tires, I was having to downshift on some of the same hills to go up them. So I started looking at things, and there's a big difference in the front tires, there's a big difference in the back tires. So only when I'm going to go out into the underbrush, the single track stuff, and I know I'm going to be riding quite a bit of dirt, I'm going to put these tires and wheels back on. Meanwhile, I'm going to continue to run the stock street tires for as much street riding as I'm going to be doing. But I'm going to get this put on there, then I'm going to strap the GoPro on the back of the bike, and we'll do a quick ending to this video, and talk to y'all later.